Good evening, everyone. This is Pradeep once again with the last session on Power BI in this 15 plus 1 days, 15 plus 1 sessions. Friends, before I get started, once again, let me request you to go ahead and make some donation towards pmcare.gov.in. You can even scan the QR code to go to this website and make the donations from your end. One more thing. Here, as I've been saying, that you can even choose any organization of your choice to go ahead and make the donation. Here, donating only to PM Care is not compulsory or important, but here, making the donation or any act of kindness matters. This has been the series that we have done for free for all the organization across different cities and countries. I'm happy to tell you that we have almost 78 members outside India who are regularly watching this series. So friends, now let's go ahead and talk about Power BI. So whatever you have learned in Power Query and Power Pivot is applicable in Power BI. So before I actually get started, I'm going to show you the Power Query and Power Pivot. How can that be used in the sessions? And we are going to talk about what exactly are the exclusive features which are not available in Excel that Power BI offers. Once again, let me request all of you that, friends, our mails will continue from pradeep@techandtraining.biz. Tomorrow is the last email that you're going to receive from this series, which is 15 plus 1 webinar series. So here, next thing is you can watch our videos online on our YouTube playlist, which is tinyurl.com/15day webinar. Friends, this is my profile, as you all have already seen this profile. So let me just request you to go ahead and connect to me on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also leave some comments on LinkedIn. Now here, friends, as you all know, that this is nothing but one-way communication. You can ask questions, you can give feedback. So towards the end of the session, we will send you the feedback form. Please do not forget to fill the feedback. Now here, friends, this is the last session that we are going to do tomorrow, which is the session from Radhakrishnan Pillai. He is going to talk about Chanakya in daily life, which will be somewhere connected to the current situation that we have and the importance of technology in everyone's lives. So friends, do join this session or this webinar in large number, as you have been doing since last 15 days. Thank you very much for all your kind support. Friends, this is the workshop that I have spoken about. This workshop, I forgot to update Excel. I'm sorry, yes, today I was a little busy, so I forgot to update here Excel. These dates are going to be revised. So as soon as you in the mail that you have received, we have given you the correct information with the correct dates and the Excel session also, because yesterday when I announced this webinar, few people came back and asked me, one person wrote to me, said that, don't you think Excel is also an important tool? That made me realize that I should have included Excel as well. But I thought mostly Excel is a very renowned tool and most of the people do attend the training program. But in PowerPoint, I wanted to come up with some of the techniques that I have developed. That's the reason I had included PowerPoint and not Excel, but now we have Excel as well. So the dates are different, but rest of the details remain the same. Now here, as I mentioned, the people, those who subscribe to us for any of the 3 workshops, for them, one free session on Power BI will be absolutely free. And this is not going to include what I'm going to talk about right now. This will be completely different. Whatever you've learned in Power Query and Power Pivot, how can you do it in Power BI, and what are the exclusive features which I may not be able to cover here will be covered there. So this session will only be for the people, those who attend minimum 3 workshops. Okay. And the cost of early bird pricing is today till 9 p.m. And see, let me tell you that we have added one more course, which is Excel, and the total package now is 22,000, not this 20,000. So this slide I forgot to change, but everywhere else we have changed. I'm sorry about this. So friends, let's get started with our session. Happy learning to all of you. Let's get started here. Now, I'm going to start with this email itself, where I have given you the link to download the file. I'm sure you guys have downloaded this Power BI desktop application. This application is extremely important, and let me tell you that this application automatically gets updated every month. So once you go ahead and download this Power BI desktop software, then here is the link for practice files. When you click on this practice files, it will take you to our OneDrive section, and here click on file, click on save as, and download it as a copy. Okay, so I name it as visualization. So this is nothing but my Excel file that I have downloaded. Now let me open Power BI and show you how to get started with Power BI. So till the time it opens, let me tell you what exactly is Power BI desktop. See, whatever charts, whatever automation that we have learned in Excel, like Power Query, we also have seen we can manage huge data in Power Pivot. This session of Power BI desktop is a combined session of the previous two workshops, which is Power Query and Power Pivot. Now, when we talk about Power Query and Power Pivot, those are nothing but data analysis tool and automation tool. Now, when we talk about Power BI, it has got all the features of Power Query, Power Pivot, as well as certain additional features. Mostly, Power BI is called as visualization software. That means you get a lot of visuals, charts, graphs, and a lot of other features. When you talk about these visualization software, today we are going to see how the multiple charts and graphs and figures interact with each other. So when we open Power BI desktop, here this screen, the first screen that you're looking at, is extremely important and useful. How? Left hand side, you can directly go ahead and start importing the data, or you can see the latest files. This will give you some basic tutorial about what is Power BI and how do we go ahead and use Power BI. Okay, so like you see, there are 4 videos are already available here. This section is again very important. As I mentioned, Power BI desktop gets updated almost every month. Yeah, so when I click on what's new here, it will take me to website where you can see all the changes that has happened recently. So you can see desktop March 2020. That means last month these features have been released by Microsoft by program manager Sujata Narayanan. And here the list of all the features or updates that have happened. And here you can see a short video which will give you a brief description of all the features which Microsoft has made to this version. Yeah. And as you can see here on the right hand side, you can see updates by each month, and you can see all the updates are coming. Updates are coming every month. So if you have not updated your Power BI desktop software this month, that means your Power BI desktop software is almost obsolete. Yeah. But recently Microsoft has made one change and Power BI desktop application gets updated automatically. But for any reason, let me give you a simple example, that if you are a corporate employee, then your IT department might have blocked the update. So just in case if you want any of this update, you need to get in touch with the IT administrator to ask them to release the current updates. Yeah. So that is one thing. Second thing about this is Power BI Forum. So when you go to Power BI Forum, this is nothing but you can say, let's take an example. You have got a question and there's no one around to ask questions. What you can do is you can go to this powerbi.com and you can ask questions over here. You need to subscribe with your official ID or your Power BI desktop ID, powerbi.com ID that you have subscribed with, to register to this forum, and here you can ask questions. Yeah. As you can see, let me show you my profile here. I have been answering plenty of questions on Power BI desktop application. So here, these are the badges that I have received. These are the questions that I have responded and seen my post and responses. Yeah. And this can be a very good learning opportunity also. Let me tell you how can this Power BI community website can be a very good learning opportunity for you. Let's say you have been working with Power BI since a very long time. Now it's time to share your knowledge with other people. When you share the knowledge, at times you come across certain topics that you have never heard of or never thought of. you get those questions from the real users, and if you're able to answer those questions, well and good. But if you're not able to answer those questions, that means that is the area that you need to improve on, and that is the reason that gets me to this Power BI forum to respond to the questions. Yeah. Anyways, so let's move back to our Power BI desktop. Here is Power BI blog. So you must go through this blog because a lot of tips and tricks, a lot of insights are shared by experts on these blogs, and these are basic tutorials. Like you can download some sample files, you can watch training video, you can see what other people have created. All those things these are nothing but extremely important links that you must go through. The reason I took some time to explain this is because most of the people overlook this, and what they do, the moment they come onto the screen, they click here to get started with Power BI desktop software. So friends, this is nothing but Power BI desktop software. Now I'm going to start as a novice. I do not know much about powerbi.com or Power BI desktop software. I just have it downloaded today and I want to play with the data. So what I'm going to do here, let me go ahead, get data, and here this is nothing but various connectors that we have. So if you remember, when we were discussing a Power Query, at that time we did discuss about these connectors. Yeah. So when I talk about these connectors, that means I can pull the data from these different connectors. So I can get the data from SharePoint folder, PDF. So PDF is not there in Excel version, but in Power BI you have the ability to fetch the table from PDF document and import the data from PDF. So that feature is there in Power BI desktop. Here there are a lot of databases. You can see more databases than what we had in Excel. This is common data service. These are very important thing. Let me explain. This Power BI data flows. This data flows is nothing but Power Query on the web. Yeah, I'm not going to be explaining this today, but if you get a chance, you can use this Power Query on the web. Now, why is this important? Verbally, I'm explaining this to you. Let's take an example. You're working in an organization and you have created a very good Power Query that is solving a lot of your problems. What you want to do is you want to share that Power Query with other team members. You can create data flows and that can be shared across your team members, across the people or your community. So do research on Power BI data flows. So this is nothing but Azure. As we discussed, this is mostly related to IT. These are different online services that we have. Now, when we talk about online services, we already have spoken about Exchange, SharePoint, and you can see all different connectors are here. These connectors are plenty in terms of in comparison to what we have in Excel. See here, plenty of connectors. That means you can get the data from variety of data sources. Now, let me go ahead and we'll pull the data from Excel file, and I connect this to Excel file. When I connect here, I go to my desktop because I have downloaded, and here. So now I go to Excel here, desktop, and here we have visualization. So I go ahead and import that data from visualization. Okay. So when I go to visualization, this is now going to open similar screen what we had in Excel. Yeah. So here I have this data. This is nothing but an Excel sheet, and this is nothing but the table. So I have converted that data into table, and that's the reason I'm able to import the table properly. So I need not do this, but let me click on transform data. If you remember, in my screen when I was working with Power Query, I had edit data, but now here we have transform data. Yeah. So now when we go to transform data here, Power Query editor, this is exactly the same screen, friends. If you remember, here we had transform column, add column, view, and stuff like that. Tools. All these are nothing but the same Power Query that we had in Excel. Yeah. So now, since I'm done with it, I'm going to click on close and apply. Apply changes, and it is applying all the changes. So friends, let us understand that this data one has been imported, right? Now, when I talk about this data one, so here I have made it a very simple because we have to learn a lot into visualization. So I have not included too many data or relationships. I have made it extremely simple so that everyone can understand. Now, as I mentioned here, when I talk about this particular Power BI, I'm going to use it as a novice user. I do not know much about Power BI. Yeah. So first thing is I know something about this data. Yeah. So let me learn with interacting with this data. So how do I create some analysis? I'll double click here. Now when I double click here, see here, I'm going to now write a question, total sales, and press enter. Okay. So see, automatically when I wrote total sales, it automatically gave me 55.39 millions. Okay. So this was the card which automatically got populated here. Now I like this, so I am going to keep it here. Total sales is nothing but 55 million, which I have got it. Yeah, simple. Next thing, what I'm going to do is here I double click here, and now I'm going to say manufacturer wise total profit. Sorry, it's going to be total profit. Okay, in table, it was showing it to me in normal chart. I have created manufacturer wise total profit in table. Okay, so automatically it is giving me these figures. Yeah, I can use these figures and put it over here. Now see, these can be added as a questions or Q&A panel, but I'm not getting into the details of Q&A feature. I'm just explaining that you can throw questions and you can get your questions answered directly by Power BI. So as you saw, it's very simple. I can go ahead and ask questions. Now second thing, let us say I know a little bit of working with Power BI, so I create this and see how simple is it to create the report. Let's say I go ahead and create channel wise. So the moment I click on channel, by default it has taken this table. Yeah, so I go ahead and select channel and a price and profit. Okay, so I've got the channel wise price and profit, and here I have got this complete option. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the font here. Now the problem is these font are very small. How can I go ahead and increase the font size? I click on this visualization, I click on this format option, go to values, and I'm going to come down and select values. So see, this is nothing but text size, and I'm going to increase the text size, and automatically the value text size increases. Okay, so it has increased. Similarly, I would like to increase the header. So what I'm going to do is, how do I increase the header? Again, I go to this format option, and then I go down, and here I will have something called as header, column headers. When I go to column headers, I have this format option. I can go ahead and change this to, let's say 25. I press enter. Okay, this is nothing but a format section where I can do a lot of formattings. Yeah. Now let us say I have got the profit, but I want to get the average profit. So in Excel, how do we get it? This profit, I drag it here. Now I have profit 2 columns. What I can do here is I can do the same thing that I do in Excel, exactly the same thing. Okay, it's taking some time to respond. Okay, so I do not get any option here because this visualization is not selected. So the moment I select the visualization, what do I need to do here is I see there are 2 profit columns available. I click on profit column, then I go ahead average profit. Now see, this is nothing but average profit that I'm getting. Again, I drag and drop profit here. This is profit. I need count. So see, count and distinct count both I have. So let me go ahead first get count. This is nothing but count, and this time let me get distinct count also. Sorry, not this. I go ahead and get the profit, and here I'm going to select distinct count. Yeah. So I think this count and distinct count value would be the same because we have selected category wise or catalog wise. So if you want to see the power of distinct count, so let me remove this and let me get manufacturers. So how many manufacturers are there in each channel, or else this won't be the correct thing. I'll go ahead and use product name. Okay. So how many unique products have I sold? So this is going to be distinct count. So now see here, we have these values are as distinct count for each of these categories. Yeah. So that means we can say that in the entire across the channel, we have these unique products being sold. Okay. So that is how we go ahead and create this chart. So there are various features that you can explore, further features, but let me go ahead and talk about some other features and some stunning charts which are not available generally in Excel. So next thing, what I'm going to talk about here is I go ahead and create a chart now. So chart, as we all know, I click on this chart and see I create this chart. Now I have order date here, I drag order date. Generally, we have to create a calendar table. So I'll create the calendar table a little later, but let me show you this particular feature. So I've got year, quarter, month and day. Now I go ahead and add profit here. So I quickly see, according to this chart, that 2011 is the year where I have made minimum profit or least profit. But 2012, I have made the maximum profit. Now, what exactly is the difference? Now, here you can see that 2011, 12, 13 does not look clearly. Again, I have to go here and change the font. Okay. So here I have to go to this x-axis, and here this is 9. Let me make it 19. Yeah. So these are nothing but font, and here I can go ahead and make changes to y-axis also, but it's okay. I'm going ahead now. So when you see 2011, I want to find out why am I getting, or why have I earned so much less profit here. Now, friends, see, these are the controls that I have on this chart. Now what these controls are, let me quickly explain it to you. Here it says drill down, this says next level in the hierarchy, and it says expand all one level down. So let me go ahead and go to one level down. You can see now this is 2011 quarter 1, 2011 quarter 2, 2011 quarter 3. Now you must be wondering, how do I know it is quarter 3? I think I have increased too much font. Let me quickly change it to let's say 14. Yeah. So see, here it is nothing but 2011 quarter wise report. Now when I do once again, what exactly happens here? This is giving me 2012 quarter 1 Jan, 2012 quarter 1 February. So it gives me the complete list of all the hierarchy. Now how are these hierarchies being defined? Here you can see the first one was year. So if I go at the top once again, this is nothing but year. When I go to the next level in the hierarchy, next level is year and quarter. So we have got the combination of year and quarter. Now here when I click here once again, here I get year, quarter and month. If I click here once again, I get year, quarter, month and date. Yeah. So likewise, I get lot of long list of all the days from the year 2011 to 2014. Okay. Now I can change it to the line chart and see, here I can see a complete range ups and downs throughout this year. Yeah. If I stick to my column chart, then this is nothing but my column charts across all the ranges. Yeah. Now, but we did not get any kind of analysis, and I also did not understand what could be the importance of this unless the data period is very short. Yeah. So let me go ahead and click here. Again, I go to the next level. Now here I use this particular option, which is expand all one level down in the hierarchy. Now here it is saying go to the next level. So what is next level? Quarterly level. So when I go to the next level, this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Now this quarter 1 does not belong to any specific year, but combined quarter 1 for all the years. Then I have this January is combined quarter 1 January month for all the years. Right? Now when we talk about the next level, here when I click here, this is from 0 to 31 of all the years. So you can say that probably 14th of every month is the best day for me, and 31st month is not so good day for me. Yeah, because I seem to have recorded minimum profit here and maximum profit on 14th of every month. Yeah. Now, but again, this does not give me clear-cut answer. Why did we make so less profit in 2011? Now here is the answer. There is an option drill down. When I click on drill down, let's see what happens here. I want to see why have we made so less profit in 2011. So I click on 2011. Now you see in 2011 this quarter 4 belongs to only 2011. So naturally, if we have worked only in one quarter, our profit should have been very less. Yeah, but still profit was extremely low. So what are we going to do? When it is quarter 4, let me drill down further. So I click here. Now this December belongs to only 2011. So that means even in quarter 4, we have only worked in the December month. We have not worked in October and November. That's the reason profit was little low. Let me again further drill it down. Again, I got to know that we started our operation from 6th of December. Not even complete month was utilized. And when we talked about 6th of December, 22nd we recorded highest profit. And of course, 31st we recorded lowest profit. Yeah. So I now have the answer. Why do we have such a less profit in the year 2011? So that is a simple thing that we can do. Next thing. Okay. So I can go ahead and I can understand the visualization. Now, so these are nothing but controls for this hierarchy. We can create this hierarchy, or this hierarchy can be created by automatic Power BI calculator itself. So here this hierarchy was created automatically by Power BI, which is nothing but date hierarchy. Okay. Now, second thing. Now let me talk about some artificial intelligence feature here. So here, I'm not sure how many of you are comfortable with waterfall chart, but here let me create a waterfall chart. So when I talk about waterfall chart here, I have order date and this is hire date. So let me drag the complete order date column here. So I drag the complete order date column. Okay. Now what I want to do is I would like to analyze profit, or this time let me go ahead and analyze sales instead of profit. Let me go ahead and analyze sales. So this is nothing but sales that I have. Okay. Now I see from 2011 to 2014, I see a very good increase in all the profits. Okay. But let me drill down further. Let me find out some more information. Let me dig into it. So I have different regions. So I drag that region into breakdown. Now when I got into breakdown, I see that sales increased from 2011 to 2012 drastically. But from 2012 onwards, region-wise sales have started declining. And I see in 2012, North America sales have declined heavily. Yeah. So this is nothing but waterfall chart where we can see the ups and downs. As you can see in the legend here, increase is green, red is decrease, and blue is total. Okay. Now I want to see why this decline started happening in the first place. Okay. So I do right click on this, and here I can go ahead and see this in the table. So here is the table. Here are the values for 2011, 12, 13, Asia, Europe and North America. So I can analyze that thing. Second thing what I can do is right click. I can go to show next level. So next level over here will be quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. That is this quarterly level, and these are the breakup for one particular year. Okay. Now I can go ahead and go back to the previous level. Again, now I'm not satisfied with these two answers. Yeah. Now what I can do here, I can go ahead and click on analyze, and I'm going to now ask Power BI to explain why is this happening. What I'm doing right now, I'm doing right click here. I go to analyze and I'm going to click here and ask Power BI to explain why is this decrease happening. The moment when I click on it, see some artificial intelligence is running, and it says that here is the analysis of 22.7% decrease in sales between 2012 North America to 2013 North America. And here it says the store accounted for majority of the decrease among channel. So amongst all the channels, store sales have declined, right? Offsetting the increase of online, and the relative contribution made by store and online changed the most. So relative contribution, as you can see here, store declined, but to a certain extent online sales have increased. Probably that could be the reason. So it automatically identified some reason and is giving you. Here you can see the same scenario from different perspectives, and it's not the only thing. You can just scroll down and you will find various reasons why is this decrease happening. Yeah. So you can see camcorders, digital SLR, camera, projector screen accounted for majority. So these products have declined, the sales of these products have declined. So likewise, you can ask Power BI to give you the explanation on any specific instance which is happening in your report. Okay, so this is going to be extremely powerful artificial intelligence feature that we saw just now. Okay, so friends, once again, if I want to see why is this increasing, right click, analyze, explain the increase. It's that simple. Yeah, so no model, nothing is to be created. You can understand and analyze and visualize the data in a better way. Yeah, so friends, this is how you can go ahead and do this analytics feature. Okay, now next thing, let's say here I can create a lot of visualizations here. So let me show you one visualization which you normally get it in Excel. That is nothing but, I'm sure you guys would be aware of it, that is stack column chart. Okay, this is nothing but stack column chart. So I go ahead, promotion wise, I would like to analyze the profit. I go ahead and legend and I drag profit here in values. So this is nothing but stack column chart, and I go ahead and use order date as the axis, right? So here I think promotion name, we have got plenty of fields. Let me choose something else. Here let me go ahead and add a region. Okay, so I'm going ahead and adding regions, right? So here, as you can see, Asia, Europe, North America. Now here you can see that these things are of the same size of boxes, and it becomes little difficult for me to understand. That's a problem with stack column chart. Now there is a new column chart which is called as ribbon chart, which we can use here. Here, now see, how do we read it? This is the chart first, and I am not making much sense out of this data unless I add some figures to it. Yeah, like data labels. I'm not making much sense of this chart. Mostly people use this chart for XYZ reasons. Let me not get into the reasons. But I do not recommend this chart that often. Instead, I recommend this ribbon chart. Now see, what exactly is the advantage of this ribbon chart? Here I can see North America grew and stayed on the top in terms of sales. When we talk about Europe and Asia, dark color blue is Europe and light color is Asia. Europe was at the bottom. It grew in 2012. Then the sales declined in 2013 and 14. So in 2012, first was North America, then Europe, and then Asia. From 2013 onwards, the hierarchy changed. At the top, we still have North America, but Asia is at number 2 spot and Europe is at number 3 spot. See how we can make sense out of this data as compared to stack column chart. So this is a new chart which I really like, and instead of stack column chart, I generally recommend people to start using this chart. Yeah, so there are a lot of visualizations that you can try over here. I'm not getting into each specific visualization. Now, one thing, whenever you have the data in Power BI, you must go ahead and create a date table. So we have not created any date table, and I have been using this order date as a date table, which is not recommended, because when we talk about YTD, MTD and all those calculations, it becomes little difficult. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now here is I'm going to create a date table. Now see how simple is it to create date table. Yesterday also there was a simple method, and yesterday also we had the same method, simple method, but here we have one step to do it. So I go to modeling, and here we click on new table. When I click on new table, here what I'm going to do is I'm going to name it as calendar data equal to, now the function is calendar auto. So there are two functions, calendar and calendar auto. So if I talk about calendar, I have to give the static start date and end date, although I can make that dynamic too, but I can go ahead and instead of using start date calendar function, I can simply use calendar auto. Now here it is asking me fiscal year end month. Now here I can say, let's say 03. If my fiscal year ends with March, I'll type 03, or I can type 12 if it ends with December. By default, it's the fiscal year end month is December. So when I press enter, now you can see there's only one table, which is data 1, and this table is in the process of creation because we have written the formula. So it has not taken the name as calendar data as yet. So the moment I press enter here, you go ahead and see that your calendar table has automatically got created, and it creates one date from the beginning of the data available in the database, that is from the first date till the last date. What we are going to do here is, next thing that I am going to talk about is, I have created this date, calendar date, and I can simply go to my relationships, and here I can go ahead and connect this date with this date. Yeah, simple. Now see, I have created the calendar date and I have connected them into relationship. Now yesterday, if you remember, I asked you to write some DAX function to get YTD, year to date or month to date. Now see, I do not know much about DAX function and I'm a lazy fellow. I don't want to work much. What I'm going to do is, here, let me create the hierarchy for date. Now I'm going to create this into table. So I've got this year wise, date wise table, and let me quickly increase the value here. Okay. So here I have got values increased. Now I want to calculate first MTD, then I'll calculate YTD. Okay. Now I don't know the formula for MTD, YTD. I don't know DAX functions. Now see what I'm going to do. Yesterday, if you remember, I have created new measures. Yeah. New measures we had in Power Pivot also. Here also we have. I have something called as quick measures, which we don't have it in Excel. What do I want here? It is asking me for something like, what calculations do I want to do? I say month to date total, MTD total. Now here it is asking me for base value and date. So base value, I want to get it on profit. This is base value. And what is my date? My date is this date. Okay. Now all I have to do is click on OK. So I click OK and see, automatically it will create a measure. See, Power BI has written this formula for me. I don't understand head and tail of this formula. So what I did, profit of MTD, profit MTD. Power BI has written this formula. I don't understand this formula, so, and I don't need to know. So I minimize this and I drag this over here. Yeah. So these are nothing but profit, and let me drag normal profit column also so that you can understand and compare. So I have this profit, so I drag this and see. So 26 plus 24 is 50. This is profit MTD. 24, 26 and 21 is 72, 91 and so on and so forth. It goes on writing till the 31st of December. Then 1st of January it starts MTD and continues till 31st of that month, and then again it restarts. This is MTD that we have created. Very simple, right? Similarly, I would like to create YTD, right? Now you know the steps. So let's do it together. I click here. So here, if I click on this visualization, I remove the day. Now I have month. Okay. Month wise sales. I now want to calculate YTD. So again, I do not know much about DAX function. So I click on quick measure. When I go to quick measure, here you will see, I'll select year to date. Again, my base value will be, this time let me talk about, okay, profit is there, right? So let me talk about profit again. This is my profit, and what is my base value? Date value is this, and I click OK, and see, automatically Power BI now gives me YTD formula. Yeah, so it is using profit YTD, and here is total YTD function that it has worked. Yesterday I also used the same function, if you remember. Now, so it has given me YTD. So let me go ahead and talk about YTD here. So this is nothing but YTD value that I have. So from January it starts, it goes on till December, and then January it restarts. Yeah, see, January it restarts and it goes on till the December of that particular year. Yeah, so that's how we can calculate YTD, and there are a lot of other formula and functions that you can do. When you go to quick measures, here see, mostly general thing, average per category, minimum per category. So let's say I talk about maximum per category. Now what is going to be my category? Let's say my category is going to be manufacturer. So I want to get manufacturer wise details. Now when I go to manufacturer wise detail, my base value should be sales. So what is the maximum value per manufacturer that I'm getting? I have got this. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drag manufacturer in a separate table, and then sales for maximum per manufacturer. So these are nothing but the figures for each manufacturers. Okay. See, these values are very small, font is very small, but when we publish the dashboard in a bigger screen, it becomes little bigger. See, now it will be slightly bigger. So generally, this is not the dashboard that we are working on. The dashboard we are yet to publish it. Okay. So I believe, friends, you have understood to make use of this quick measure. Just try this quick measure. I'm sure you'll be able to figure out plenty of things over here. Okay. So now what we have done here, we have got the manufacturer wise complete details likewise. Now see, let me show you one more feature here. So I want to find out adventure work. It is showing me this profit, but I would like to also see the details of adventure work. Okay. So how do I create one more table where I create details of adventure work? So I go ahead and add manufacturer here. Manufacturer wise, let's say channel wise product name. Okay. So what I've done, manufacturer wise, channel wise product name I have written here. Or else let me remove channel here and just keep manufacturer wise product name. Okay, there are plenty of product. I'm sorry about this. Category. Okay, so these are my categories, and let me add a channel also in between. Yeah, so this is manufacturer wise, channel wise product, and I would like to get the profit and price total and sales value. Okay, now what I want to do here is I would like to drill down to only see the values for adventure work or the phone company or the world importers. Okay. So how do I do it? Here, when I would like to make the relationship between two sheets, what I'm going to do is very simple. I enable cross filter, and based on which do I need this entire data to be filtered? I want it to be filtered on manufacturer name. So I add the manufacturer here. See what I'm trying to do here. I have added this manufacturer here, manufacturer to this, cross filter here, manufacturer I've added it here, and I've enabled the cross filter report. Now what is the advantage? Let me first show you the feature and then explain once again how is it done. So I want to see the Contoso, the details of Contoso Limited. Yeah, so that's the company. I do right click and see here is the option bill through page number 6. The moment I click on page number 6, it has filtered for that particular manufacturer. So now you see Contoso 6. Let me go ahead here and talk about the phone company. Right click, drill through page number 6. See the phone company, it automatically filters the data for phone company. So let's say if you want to drill down the data to sub level, you can automatically use this feature. And now what you can do, if you want to go back, you can click here and it will take you back to the report. So there are a lot of such features that can be done in Power BI desktop. Yeah. So these are just few features that I am showing. Now let's talk about Power BI on the cloud. That means if you remember, I have asked you all to subscribe for Power BI on the cloud. Okay. Now when I talk about Power BI on the cloud, what exactly is this Power BI on the cloud? First thing, when we talk about Power BI on the cloud is we have to publish this data to powerbi.com. There are three types of subscriptions. One is free subscription, second one is pro, and the third one is premium. Premium is for the organization because the licensing cost starts with 33 to 40 lakhs per year. Yeah, and it goes on, so on and so forth. Now when we talk about the pro license, that costs somewhere around $9.99. Now friends, let me publish this data. So first of all, before I publish, it is going to ask me to save. So I'm going to save it over here and name it as 15+1 day sessions. Okay, I have created a Power BI report and now I'm going to go to publish. When I click on publish, this data is going to be published on the cloud. So here I have different workspaces created. I'm going to create a workspace for my workspace and I click on select. Okay. So friends, when I click on select, here it is publishing the data, right? Now there is something which says open this report online or get quick insights. I'm not clicking on any of these two links right now, but let me move on to my browser. And I go to powerbi.com. When I go to powerbi.com, I now go to sign in. You have to have the ID here, and I have requested each one of you to create an account here. Now see, the workspace that it asked me to select was my workspace, and here under my workspace, under the data, see here, I have one workspace which is 15 plus 1 day sessions free, right? This is one workspace. Now let's say I do not know. Let me again start from the beginning. Let's say I do not know much about Power BI. I knew only about importing the data. I did not know about creating this table, these features. I did not know anything. What I would like to now do is, after going ahead and, okay, why is this happening? Because we have added multiple fields here into that drill through report. So we have to configure each and everything. So I'm not getting into the details of how these visualizations changed. Now, so when I come to this particular feature, I have added the data here into this table and I have published the data. I did not know or did not do anything other than publishing the data. Okay. Once I publish the data, here when I go to the cloud, here is my data set. I click here on my data set, and here there is something called as Quick Insights. When I click on Quick Insights, let's see what happens. It is now searching for some insights within my data. If you remember, in Excel we had some feature called as ideas. If you've forgotten till the time it is opening, let me open Excel and show that feature to you. Maybe the icon would remind you which feature am I talking about. I'm not doing that feature, but this ideas. What that did was that automatically gave me a lot of insights about my data. So here, the same insights are going to be generated by this Quick Insights. I clicked on Quick Insights and see here it has created this chart, order quantity by channel. Yeah. Then count of country by channel. So store, I have larger presence of stores in different countries than online and resale and catalog kind of sales strategies. See, this is nothing but correlation report. Yeah. So sales and profit, of course, sales and profit will be highly correlated data. Yeah. Now here we have sales and different charts are there. This is nothing but I think it is outlier. Yeah, outlier. It is showing North America has outliers. So there are some outliers. I am sure you guys know what are outliers. Just to give you an example, let's say all the people who are attending the session, if I talk about all the incomes, our incomes more or less will be on the average. If I add Mukesh Ambani's income, then all of us collective income, average income will go much higher. Now that disturbs the complete understanding of the data. So Mukesh Ambani is one. He is an outlier in our community because his income is highest. We can't match his income. Yeah. But if I want to take mean, median, mode of our incomes, it will be much more closer. So this is nothing but outlier. So there must be some outliers here. So these are nothing but various reports that I have in the data. Now what I can do is here you can create a separate dashboard. What you want to show with the other audience and what you don't want to show, you can configure all those things. You can simply check this box which says pin visual. So when you create pin visual, let's say I want to create my new dashboard, 15 plus 1 dashboard. So whatever visuals that I like, I can simply go ahead and pin these visuals. See what I'm doing is I'm just pinning whatever it has shown so that I can use them. So there are plenty of such reports that you can go through all these data. Now what I'm going to do here is these are nothing but data set. See, this is nothing but data sets. Workbook, if you have directly connected any Excel workbook here, that workbook will be shown. These are nothing but reports. Now these reports are nothing but something that we have created. Now let's say I have not made much effort in creating casual dashboard. Let's assume that we have created an awesome dashboard. What I would like to do now is I would like to export this entire dashboard in the form of PowerPoint. I can click here. I can select export to PowerPoint. The moment I click on export to PowerPoint, it is saying current values and I click on export. So now it is going to allow me to download the PowerPoint presentation on each of these tabs, right? So let me tell you, this is not going to be an interactive presentation. If you are expecting like that, it will take the snapshot of each of these pages and put it in the slides. Then when we talk about file, Here we have a lot of things like embed in SharePoint Online. So if you remember, on the day one, we did talk about SharePoint. Yeah. So let me talk about our portal.office.com. I can publish this Power BI report with my team in any of my SharePoint. So I go here and let's say here we have 15-day webinar, and here I would like to add a SharePoint report. Yeah. So here is forms, and I would like to add SharePoint report. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on edit, and here let's say I talk about this. I don't want this form anymore. I delete that form and I would like to add a SharePoint report. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to copy the code. Sorry, it is now automatically the screen popped up. I'm sorry. I have to cut the topic in between. I'm going to come back to SharePoint. This is the PPT which is getting downloaded. See, actually PPT takes a little while, but today it came up little earlier. So this is nothing but the presentation. This is contacting information, and see, this is the PPT which automatically got created by Power BI. Power BI exported it into PowerPoint, right? I was talking about SharePoint. Now what I need to do is, if I am on powerbi.com, I can go ahead and get the sharing link. This is nothing but the complete link. I copy this link, and now I go to SharePoint, and here I'm going to add, and now here there is an option for Power BI. Yeah, here is the option. So I go ahead, and now it is showing me the option for Power BI. Now it is asking me to add a report. I click on add report. Here I click on URL. Okay, here it is coming, URL, and I close it. So now you can see I have page 1, page 2, page 3. So what I can do is, Power BI can be configured to auto update. That doesn't happen in Excel, remember. Let's talk about this particular feature. In Power BI, we have something called as gateways, which I did not talk about, and I can't talk about in this session. We have data gateway. Just in case, if you want this data to automatically get updated without any manual effort, of course, the entire system has to be automated in that case. But let's say if somehow we can automate it, these gateway will automatically update the data on the cloud. Yeah. So I don't need to update the data. So as soon as this Power BI report gets updated on the cloud, my Power BI report on SharePoint will also get updated. So let's say me along with my boss, I have shared this report in my team site in either MS Teams, Microsoft Teams, or in SharePoint. He only has to come, open this page and see the latest figures. That's it. No manual intervention or interference is required. Completely automated system. One more thing that you can do is, you can even, let's say you want to post the company's performance across the web. Now that feature is disabled by the administrator in our organization. Otherwise, when I click on publish to web, it automatically gives us a link that you can use to embed in any of the public websites. Yeah. So there is an feature over here, publish to web, publish to SharePoint, export to PowerPoint, export to PDF, print, and all those features are available. Yeah. So friends, these are various features of Power BI that we can talk about. I'm sure you guys have learned something. Yeah. Now I'll ask Prashant to paste the link in the question answer panel of a feedback form so that you can go ahead and fill the feedback. I'm sure you guys would have learned something. Please let us know if you have learned anything today in Power BI session. This was just a brief overview of what Power BI is. There are a lot of things that needs to be done. I have not covered most of the features because I could not cover because of time constraint. But we can certainly go ahead and use this. Now, one is, okay, someone had asked is, can we copy and paste the chart in Excel, Word and PowerPoint? See, we have exported that into PowerPoint. Now you can use this copied chart anywhere, wherever you want to. But this will be pasted as a picture. You cannot use it as a real chart like we do in from Excel to PowerPoint. If you remember, when we were doing the Excel to PowerPoint training program, I did show an option from Excel to PowerPoint. You can copy and paste the chart. That feature is not available. Can we change the ready-made data or tables downloaded with the help of Power BI? Tables Excel becomes slow when add-in facility like PI is used. It can be improved. Can we change the ready-made data tables downloaded with the help of Power BI? Well, I need to understand more on this data, but let me show you one feature which I wanted to show you in Power Query also, and here also I could not show you because I did not intend to, but here you have the option Excel import the data from web. So if the data is in public domain, you can easily import that data over here into Power BI. But let me give you an example of moneycontrol.com. Moneycontrol.com, if you go and if you want to fetch some data, it gives you the option to export that data in the format of Excel. It does not expose the data. Yeah, since it does not expose the data, you can't download that data. Yeah, but if the data is available on the website itself, then you can directly get that data into Power BI. And if you want to get the data in Excel, that is also possible, because Power BI to Excel, you cannot export the data outside Power BI. But if you want to get the data, we have Power Query in Excel also. You can fetch the data over there. What all formats of Excel it entertains? Well, recently I have not checked. In the latest update, I am not sure if it entertains binary format or not. But like I mentioned, binary is a problem with Power Query, and I think it has not been resolved as yet. But it does not accept XLS version, which is 97/2003 version. Can we copy this chart to Excel Word? Oh yeah, that I answered. How to change the data in the same dashboard or extend the data for more months? Okay. Now here, when we talk about how do we change the data, let's say if you remember when we discussed about Power Query in Excel, we had a folder of Sachin Tendulkar. Whenever I want to update the data, I'll go ahead and paste one file into that folder. Like if you remember this folder, I think I have deleted that. But anyways, so if you remember in that case, we will copy the data and paste it in that folder, and we'll come here and refresh the data. Yeah, that feature manual has to be there unless and until your company deploys the gateway. When they deploy the gateway on the server, then this process can become automatic. Yeah, that is one way. Second, if you have some live data connections, then it gets updated automatically. Live data connection can be created using Azure Data Service, Azure SQL Server. Second thing, you can also, so when we talk about SQL Server, if I have to connect the data with SQL Server, there is also an option of connecting it to the live data, to the data real time. Generally, what happens when we connect the data to Power BI, what Power BI does, it downloads the data within Power BI file, and it also compresses the data. If you remember yesterday when we did Power Query, the 700 MB of data got compressed into 32 MB. Even more compression happens in Power BI. So these two activities makes a huge data little slow. So there is another way of connecting to the server, which is, I forgot the name that is called as, you can, when you connect to the SQL server, it automatically gives you the live connection data report. Live as in it is not live, but it connects to the data source real time. So in those cases, this gets updated automatically. You don't have to update it. Yeah. So there are various ways of updating the data in Power BI that we have discussed. So friends, thank you from my side. That's it from my side today. I will once again request all of you to come and join us for this Chanakya workshop in large numbers, and those who have not registered can register. Prashant is sending another link for registration to Chanakya series as well as registration to our workshop. Let me talk about the workshop that I have planned. Not this workshop, I'll show you the actual email. Now in that workshop, we are going to discuss a lot of things. Let me show you some the detailed information. One second. This is the pricing and everything about the workshop. These are the latest date of the workshop, which is 9th, 10th May PowerPoint, then Excel 16, 17, 23rd, 24th, 30th, 31st, and 7th June we have free workshop. Those who sign up for minimum 3 of these workshops. These are the costing, and the cost, if you talk about cost of any of these 3 workshops, is 20,000. But if you want to attend all 4 workshops, the cost is only 22,000. Yeah, it's only 22,000. And let me show you what is the content that I'm going to talk about. So this content will be shared. Those who are signing up for these workshops will send this content, or if anyone is interested can mail us. I'll show you the content right now for only Excel program or PowerPoint program, whatever comes first. Okay, so advanced Excel PDF came first. Now in most of the training program, you would have discussed, this is a complete 3-day workshop, but we are going to customize it to 1 day, and these are the various features that we generally talk about. But in this workshop, we are going to talk about real advanced things. How do we make advanced pivot table report to make it automatically dynamic? How to create speedometer chart in Excel, scroll bar chart in Excel, then complicated function like index match, offset functions, and we are going to talk about dynamic data range. Your report should be as simple as copy and paste. This is what we are going to talk about in very advanced features of advanced Excel technique. It's going to be a kind of mini dashboard that we will be creating. Similarly, we have something in PowerPoint also. Let me show that also as well. By the way, this is Power Pivot that we have discussed. This is going to be a very lengthy workshop. Those who are interested to get these course outlines can mail us, or you can register on our workshops. We'll send you these course outline, and if you need any further information, let us know. There is also PowerPoint animation course, which is not this course. Let me show you something in PowerPoint. Yeah, it is here. It should be here. Yeah, PowerPoint. So when you talk about the PowerPoint workshop, these are various topics that we discuss. It's a very lengthy topic. From very basic to advanced, everything is there. So let me show you something which is very advanced. Creating 3D shapes, merging shapes, creating custom shapes, that is only with shapes. These are various animation techniques. I have not spoken much in our sessions because of time constraint. Then these are video techniques. These are picture techniques, 3D pictures, blur effect, pop-out images, animating pictures. Now, animating picture is something which is very interesting. You might not have ever seen that. Creating 3D diagrams. See, this is a complete reckoner for creating stunning slides. So, likewise, we have Power Pivot, Power Query, Power BI. It's a huge thing. In 1 hour, I could not even cover 20% of what we cover in regular sessions. So, friends, I'll hope and request, if anyone is interested, they can join us for this workshop. Thank you very much. This was the last day, and I really enjoyed teaching you all these 15 days. It was the first experience that I've had in my career where I have addressed more than 1,000 participants on an average every day. Yeah, few days we had some less participant also, but our participation never went down to 750. That too for 1 or 2 workshops, but for most of the workshop it was above 900 participation. So people have had faith in us, and I think we somehow maintained the faith and hope to continue this relationship. I will be sending you mailers, not as frequently as every day like I used to, once in a month or once in a quarter if we are coming up with any further programs, or if I publish any YouTube video and if it is something that you should look at, we will only then send you emails. We won't be sending you emails like we used to do every day, because here we did it because many people may not have the links saved or they may not have the data. So that's the reason we were sending emails every day. So tomorrow will be the last email that you will receive, at least for the month of May, unless you have subscribed for our programs. Yeah. So friends, happy to be with you. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all again in those workshops. I regularly train. Yeah, one more thing. If there are any ABFRL guys, please register to Radhakrishnan Pillai's using your personal email ID, because I've seen you registering with your official ID, and none of the ABFRL guys are receiving our emails because all mass mailers are blocked. So please re-register using your personal ID so that you can receive the registration link. Thank you very much, friends. See you all next time. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.